Y'all know what time it is. It's Queen Talk, not small talk. I'm back to my original I'm back to my original setup with my actual real camera and then my mic. So hopefully everyone can hear me. Please let me know if you can't hear me. Um it's Saturday, so it's probably going to be thin in here. So let me know if you're a part of the replay crew. But I wanted to do this video today because I have had quite a few women and just like myself in general, more so in the past. Question like maybe you will go out with friends, maybe you will be out in a group, and I don't know, let's just say that like you're like, oh well, why doesn't anyone approach me? Or like, you will do all of the things, like you got your body together, like you got, yourself together, like presentable physically, and you're not understanding like why men are not approaching you. And so today when I was working out, hello all my lovely sovereign sisters, when I was at the gym today, there was a video that I came across, and I it was really nice to hear this from a man's perspective, because this is always what I'm telling women. Usually, a lot of the time, men are usually just intimidated by you. It's not that they're not attracted to you. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to really go down into the psychology of how men approach women, what's going in their brain when they're deciding, am I going to approach her or not? We're going to psychologically break this down. Okay, so we're going to watch the video in question.
Men are afraid to speak to me, let alone date.
It's not simply that certain women are just beautiful, but it's also because of the maintenance. A lot of men are cheap. These women also look expensive. Men love to see struggling women. Men love to have something over a woman. So when they see a struggling woman that looks like she works all day long, they feel like in their mind that they can woo and wow her with the most basic behavior. So when a lot of men see a gorgeous woman who keeps herself together, who is clean, and who has herself all the way put together, and when men weigh that out in their mind, they literally think, my wallet cannot match this woman's personality.
There's two types of men. Always remember this, because I literally did a video about how narcissistic men like to go after women that are very well established, that are very beautiful, that are the full package. There's two types of men. Always remember this. There's going to be the man that's going to approach you as a very beautiful, well-rounded woman to extract that from you. Okay. And then there's going to be men that are going to approach you when you're like when you're bummy. Okay. So you just threw on some clothes and just walked out the house. Then there are those type of men that are going to approach you because they don't have anything to give you. You see the difference? They come to you when you look good to take. They come with you when they look bad to give you nothing. So in both cases, they're not giving you shit. So you might as well go out how you want to go out and look how it is that how you want to look.
My wife as an example, right? My wife looks expensive and she is expensive. You can tell when you look at my wife, for one, that she's drop dead gorgeous.
I looked at his TikTok. His wife is beautiful. His wife is beautiful. He's going to give you more insight onto like her wedding ring. The wedding ring is beautiful. He has a beautiful wife. The ring is sparkling.
But you can tell that she does not work. She does not have a clock-in job. She does not look stressed. She does not look like somebody's foot on her neck. And I like.
And he's not lying. His wife, beautiful. I think she's definitely ambiguous. I don't know what she is. She probably could be maybe Black Filipino. I'm not for sure what she is. She's fucking glowing, and that's how it should be. You could tell this man bought what he could. He bought what he afforded within his tax bracket, and he could afford the Maserati, the Porsche. He could afford that. His wife is a clear reflection. You could tell she's a kept woman. There is no purpose of you being a stay-at-home wife when You don't get to be kept. A lot of women believe like, oh, well, if I just get to be a stay-at-home wife, that means that I get to be kept. No, the fuck it doesn't. Because if you get to be a stay-at-home wife, then that means that you're gonna have 3 kids. You gotta beg. Oh, there's not enough money on the card. Am I gonna? Can you send me more money to take care of the children so I can buy groceries, so I can buy this? He's not paying for your maintenance, for you to get your hair done, you to get your nails done, for you to be able to clock out of being a mother. He is not offering any assistance, any aid. Then you're not a kept woman. You're just not a kept woman.
I like it like that. I like my woman feminine, comfortable, happy, beautiful. But when men see her, they know that she's of a certain caliber. Another thing that deters men from talking to her is not just simply me. No. It's her wedding ring. When I went to the diamond dealer, he said, what kind of ring do you want? I said, the kind of ring that when men see it, they don't even want to talk to her. He said, I got just the thing. Now, the ring is expensive, and it is a crazy looking ring. But when men see it, they automatically see, whoa, me and her men are in 2 different tax brackets. I don't got time for that shit. And now, while she would just shut them down, I don't even want her to be pestered. And that is why men do not want to talk to expensive women, because their money does not match it.
No man that truly likes you, truly values you, is gonna sit here and like see you be expensive and then decide to want to pursue you and then no longer want you to be expensive. Yeah, the reason why is because he wants you half off. He wants you on the clearance rack. Okay. So we're going to go deeper into the psychology of how men size up women to approach, okay? Because a lot of things go into this. Their ego, their risk of rejection, how accessible you come off to them, the compatibility when it comes to status, and then obviously them just their animalistic tendencies on a biological level, and then also how their own self-worth is going to project onto that woman that he chooses to approach. Okay. And believe it or not, I actually have gotten intel about this from the men in my family. She's mixed, not a regular Black woman. My point from before, a lot of Black men are colorists. They will pay, provide white or light-skinned women. That's true. But you want to know what? All of the content creators that I see that are kept women that are kept women that are darker skinned, they're always with white men. White men don't tend to go for women that are ambiguous. White men tend to go for women that are unambiguous. They're always usually going to be dark skinned. They're usually always going to have like 4C, textured hair. So I look at it like this: get in where you fit in. Instead of being concerned about what the men are going for, knowing that you don't fit it, you should go for the men that, hey, you get in where you fit in. The white men, they love them some unambiguous Black women. So I feel like go where you are appreciated. As a Black woman, you don't owe you owe nothing to your own race. Okay. It is a waste. I've never seen the point in race loyalty. I think it's very stupid. I actually think it is very oppressive. But yeah, get in where you fit in. You know what I'm saying? No, light brown, I have no problem. I'm just making a point. Oh no, 100%, 100%. But I do know that there's a lot of women that struggle with that, and they will always try to fight the idea that like Black men are choosing to be with ambiguous Black women. They're choosing to be with mixed women. Hey, listen, it only counts if they're treating that woman well. It only counts if the woman is a kept woman. If they're just dating her, if they're just marrying her and they're just baby mama and her, treating her like crap, who cares at the end of the day? Because in most cases, that is what they're doing anyway. It isn't like they're treating them with, princess treatment to the highest, most level. No, this was just actually a very rare case where it appears that he ended up getting him an ambiguous woman. And then also the fact that it does appear that hey, she's a kept woman. He is actually treating her accordingly. That's very rare. Usually they just get the ambiguous woman and then treat her like shit. Um, but yeah. European heritage people don't even know about colorism, texturism, etc. It's not a thing in our race. I find it crazy when I see this shit. Yeah, they have a preference just to treat them like shit. As a light skinned woman, I've been treated the worst by black men. Yup. They're just colorists. They go to Thailand to pay 100%, but here they're going to 50 to go pay 50-50. Well, because in Thailand, 50% here is 100% there. The cost of living is very, very cheap in Thailand. And also they're going because it's ladyboys there. That's the real reason why men are going to Thailand. They're not going for just pure ambiguity. They're going because the women are cheaper and there's ladyboys there. Okay, so men are always going to approach women based off of what feels safe to their ego. The death of just about every man is always going to be his ego. That is something that you should always understand with men, because their creation, their identity comes from the external. Okay, so their profession, their car, where they live, the woman that is on their arm. And so in order to protect, that's what makes their core identity. And so that means that men have a very fragile ego, because someone could steal their car, someone could crash their car, someone could take their woman, they could lose their job tomorrow, their house could catch on fire, they could lose all of the external things, which means that the male ego is very fragile, which means that a lot of men don't want to put themselves in a predicament where their ego will potentially get crumbled by approaching the wrong woman. By wrong woman, I mean a woman that is pretty much going to stomp on their ego. So it can be very risky. And mind you, also another thing, most men are insecure. I don't care how well they try to portray this persona as if they are confident, as if they have all of this bravado. I don't care how often they tell you how high their body count is, how many dates they go on, how many girls they're turning down. They're lying to you. They are not telling the truth. They are just telling you that so that way they can make you feel as though it is an honor that they are choosing to be with you, that it is an honor to spend time with you, essentially. So despite all of the hoopla that they spin to women, men are very insecure, and so it becomes very risky for a man to approach a woman when his ego might be getting deflated. And so very quickly when men see you, they will start thinking to themselves like, okay, I look like this. My bank account is this. I live here. She's dressed like this. Her shape is like this. She's driving that. Her bag is that. So she might say, yes. Or there's a quote, and it says that men will die for women, but live for men. A lot of the time, too, when men are trying to decide on if they're going to approach you, if they're going to take you seriously or not, a lot of that is coming from the approval of the men in their life. How are you going to come off to them? How are you going to look to them? And I've even heard it from like other men. You know what I mean? Other men actually will be intimidated by other men in their circle. And so they also might fear the idea of, well, he does look better than me. He has more money than I do. You know what I mean? So I kind of want to get someone that may not draw all this attention, because I don't want him to potentially try to talk to her and then I end up losing her, So when you are like in sweatpants, when you have on no makeup, your hair is in a bun, you're walking fast, you're looking distracted, you're very non-threatening to these men. And so they kind of see it as an easy opportunity, because they're like, if I approach her, there's a higher chance that my ego won't get bruised in the process. This is why a lot of men like to go for women at the gas station. They always want to try to talk to someone at the gas station, because you're at the pump, you're trying to pump your gas, you are distracted, you're in the middle of something. Because then men psychologically, they have an excuse and they can lie to themselves. So they can pretty much say, oh, well, she rejected me because, she was distracted. She was too busy pumping gas. And so she didn't really want to give me the time of day. This is why if you go into like a bar, if you go into like, a setting where it is, more of a dynamic where, you would want there to be more heterosexual engagement. They don't want to come to women anymore, especially in that setting, because they know that you're not distracted in most cases. Like, the men are there for a reason, and they understand that men are there. And so everyone understands that if a man approaches you, that is the intended person. At the gas station, you're not really thinking about those things. You're not really thinking about those things. So if you reject him in a bar, if you reject him in a club, him and everyone else around him, as soon as they see that he walked away from you, he got rejected. And that's going to fuck his ego up. He's going to be super upset at himself, and he's going to be questioning himself and feeling very, very embarrassed. Okay. So when you are out, face is beat, hair is laid, you're dressed like money, you're confident, you're over here serving that straight up like baddie aesthetic, you can't afford me, I have fuck you money. That when he sees a woman like that, he's going to start asking himself, well, what if she rejects me? Or she probably has the man. I am always assumed to be married. Always. Men always assume that number one, I'm married, and then number two, they assume that I'm married to a white man. Every single time. That is literally how men will approach me. I know your husband's happy. I know your husband is just so lucky to be with you. They already have that assumption because they kind of figure there would be no reason for you to look how you look, and you're on the market still. So they already have it planted in their head that, you want to know what? I'm going to reject myself before she rejects me. And then when I have 2 Pop the Balloon reviews, I don't do them anymore because Pop the Balloon is so low vibrational, but we had seen that on the Pop the Balloon reviews that I had did. So whenever the woman was going down in the lineup of men, she would say like, oh, well, I have a preference for this height, or I have a preference for this skin color, because the women would be colorist too. And so instead of them staying in, they would just pop their own balloon. They would just reject themselves before the girl would reject them, because they're like, oh, I don't even have a chance with her because I don't fit the bill of what it is that she wants. I hate it when they try to talk to me while I'm getting gas. It's crazy how you just said yesterday, I was out. His guy is asking me if I speak English, but he obviously saw I was checking out at the register. Why do they stay trying to pursue us as we're busy? Yeah, it's like what I just told you. They want to be able to have an excuse as to why you rejected them. So they want to, it's easier for them to say, oh, well, maybe she was just busy. She was in the middle of doing other things. So that was the reason why she didn't want to give me a time of day. They understand that they're always trying to protect their ego. Like, that is essentially what this is about. Men are 100% in a state where they need to protect their ego. So they don't want to, they don't want to talk to you when y'all are at a bar or y'all are in a mixer or a setting where, it would, the room, it would be obvious for a man to approach a woman, because then they understand, fuck, like, she really rejected me seeing me. She really rejected me, like, us having a conversation. She rejected me after seeing how I look, hearing me speak, yada, yada, yada. They don't want to give women all of that information, because then they're going to look back at themselves and say, fuck, like, I have no value. I suck. Women don't like me, and I'm invisible. They don't want to have to feel that feeling. So that's the reason why they like to approach you when you're busy. They always assume I like white men. Why? Because there's a certain aesthetic that you have. We are all wired, for the most part, especially men. You have to remember, men are external. Men are externally created. Okay. Men don't look inward. They do no inner work. They are not self-aware. They do no self-reflection. So essentially, they always compare women to cars because you're an object to them. So when they look at you as an object, they will look at you and say, "Oh, okay, well, she looks like a BMW." So like BMWs, they tend to go very fast. There usually is like some assumption about BMW owners versus a Honda, a this or that. Essentially, the way that men, because it's usually black men that say this, black men look at it like this: when you are more classy, when you are more polished, when you are more refined as a black woman, they're going to automatically assume that they don't have a chance with you. Black men will automatically assume that they don't have a chance with you because blacks in general typically prefer being more educated, being more articulate, having a finer type of hair, being more polished, being more refined. They associate that with being closer to whiteness. So when you have those attributes, they will assume, oh, okay, well, I'm going to assume that she probably doesn't even like black men and she probably is only with white men. I get that all of the time. I get it all the time. This is so weird. Guys used to say things like that to me when I had my little Erica Badu thing going on. Yes. My week was good. Florida's nice. I'm enjoying it here still. Yeah, I am. I'm enjoying it here still. Everything is going well. I literally have no complaints. I went to the gym this morning. I made a nail appointment for tomorrow. So I have no complaints. I have no complaints. Men come over while you're at the petrol station, gas station. Yeah. So here in America, men are good for that. And like, this is the reason why I'm very picky. Men don't approach me in the gas station because guess what I do? I hurry up, put the pump in the gas thing, and then I hurry up, I go inside of my car and I lock my door. So as the gas is pumping, I'm inside of my car because I don't have the time. I don't have the time or tolerance. Leave me the fuck alone. Hey, I'm glad to be with all of you on this live from Russia with love. Thank you from Russia. Yes. If you have a modicum of culture about you, automatically it's we only date white guys. Exactly. And so in my head, I'm like, well, cool. Then I won't talk to you. That's wonderful. Oh my God, I got that so much. And most of the time, the white men would approach me more than black now. Yeah, exactly. Listen, most of the time, men know where they stand with you, honestly. Yeah, men know where they stand with you. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you actually might be a black woman who has dated white men. And then there might be white men that are afraid to approach you because they're assuming that you don't date white men. I've also had that as well. I went to high school it was predominantly a white high school. And after I graduated, that was when there were like a lot of men from high school that were white that had decided that like, oh, like they wanted to talk to me or they wanted to try to date me. They wanted to try to take me out on a date. And they would be like, yeah, they'd be like, yeah, I like you since high school. However, I just assumed that you did not like any white men at all because I didn't date in high school. I've never been boy crazy. I've just never cared about them. How come a guy friend switched up with being flirty with me once I confessed? He's cold with you now. He's manipulating you. He's playing hot. He's playing hot and cold at this point. He wants you to chase him. All right. So yeah. That's the number one reason why, regarding their ego, why they will pick and choose approaching you when you're looking bummy versus when you are put together. Okay. Now, another thing, the second point is whenever men are looking at women, they're looking at it in a way of cost benefit, essentially. So men subconsciously will look at women like an investment. Like I said before, all of this will make sense once you realize that men are looking at you like an object. Okay. They're not looking at you like a person because men under patriarchal conditioning are taught to not look at you as a woman that is a human being with feelings, with thoughts, with dreams, with aspirations. They don't see any of that in you. They are literally looking at you like you are at like you're a car on the open lot and you're mixed in with all of these busted up cars, all of these clunkers, and then you got your Lexuses and Honda, the new, the used, the old, the fast car. That is how they are looking at you. Okay. Once you realize that, then you'll be able to tap into how men are perceiving you. Okay. So essentially, when it comes to the cost benefit, they look at it like, okay, with low effort I can have a high return. Okay, so they're going to approach you. So this is pick Misha. Okay, this is pick Mishas usually are going to get approached the most. Okay, pick Misha is always going to have a boyfriend. Pick Misha is always going to have a man, because the thing about it is that when you look bummy, you're going to get more. You're going to get quantity when you look bummy, when you don't put yourself all together. When you look good, you are going to have less quantity. But then the few men that do approach you, you'll have you will have a higher quality experience, even though you're not getting as many men that are approaching you. Okay. So low effort and then higher return. Okay. So if they look at you and realize, okay, I don't have to invest a lot of money into her, I don't have to invest a lot of time into her, I don't really have to give her anything, they will get a high return on their investment. And so they're going to choose to approach you. Then it's the opposite. Okay, if they're looking at you and they're like, damn, her nails done, she got rhinestones on them, she's got the Louis Vuitton purse, she's wearing heels, she's very dressed, well put together, her hair is very nice and polished, he's racking up in his mind, oh my god, I'm gonna have to pay for that, I'm gonna have to pay for that, I'm gonna have to pay this amount of money. And so it will be high effort, and then he will realize like, oh shit, well then, but look at me, you know what I mean? Like, he probably hasn't gotten a fucking haircut in a month, you know what I mean? He probably can't even remember the last time that he had on a clean pair of socks, you know what I mean? And so he's thinking like, oh shit, like then I have a higher chance of getting rejected, so let me just avoid her. Like, let me just go on ahead and avoid her because she's going to be too expensive. And toe to toe, he already knows that you are above him. And so, no, he just doesn't want to do that. Whoever came up with patriarchy must have been for the same team, for sure. That is so true. I barely get approached. However, when I do, it's always men who take me to 5-star restaurants and want to take me on trips. I rather wait for a rich man versus a bum. Yeah. When you really do look beautiful, when you really do have like everything together and you're very polished, yeah, it's more so of a long game. But if you just want a man to holler at you and be like, hey baby, you looking good, that ass is fat, if that's what you're looking for, then you can go on ahead and dress bummy. Okay, because that's what's going to happen. You're that's what you're going to attract. Men only want women with money where I live. I was attractive, chasing dusties, but I came from a poor family, so they never wanted me. Yeah, because those men want to be able to, it's like what I said at the beginning of the live. If you missed it, there's two types of men. So there are men that will approach you when you're beautiful and they don't have shit, and that's because they want to extract what you have. So they're only approaching you because they want a piece of what you have. And then you have the men that will approach you when you're bummy because they have nothing to give you, because you don't look like you've invested into yourself. So they all automatically assume, well, if she didn't invest in herself, then what would be the point of me making an investment in her? Like, she's not going to ask me for anything if she's not doing it for herself. And like I said at the beginning, both of those scenarios, they have the same thing in common. You're getting nothing. If a man is approaching you to extract, and then a man is approaching you and giving you it to give you nothing, neither one of them are giving you anything. Okay. Slightly disagree here. You could look bummy and all the way to high maintenance, and the ex-wives will still try to approach you, still leer and catcall classy looking women walk down the street. Well, of course. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that when you look bummy, you're always going to get approached. I'm also not saying that when you look good, you're not ever going to get approached. However, I'm breaking down the psychology of how men are thinking when they are seeing said woman that is dressed a certain way. Because in most cases, this is what they're thinking. Regardless if they approach you or not, this is what the fuck they're thinking. Point blank, period. And we'll talk about them dating out of their league. The psychology, it's very, very deep. I literally have like 6 talking points on this whole entire thing. How to dress up while in work uniform. I work in security and usually get approached by bums. It's horrible. However, that really happens outside of work, thankfully. If you are in a line of work where you have to wear a uniform, you are going to have to you're going to have to accessorize in a way that is going to make you look a little bit more expensive, okay? So, I don't know what the rules are. I don't know when it comes to a security job. I don't know how they feel about jewelry or you having nails because I don't know what type of security you do and who you do it for. I would assume that with high levels, if it's like high level security, so like, we're talking about like a jail or a prison, well, there ain't nothing you could do about that. But if you are security for like an establishment and it's very laxed, it's really not a whole lot of contingencies upon what you can and what you cannot wear or accessorize or things like that. You should be using accessories to your advantage. So if you can wear earrings, I would have on like a nice, relatively, pricey pair of stud earrings. If you can wear a very nice ring on your finger, even if you get one from Amazon, you know what I mean? Get a fake engagement ring. Get on Amazon, buy a $40 fake engagement ring. Get one that looks very dainty, very classy, but it looks very expensive. They're not going to know, and wear that. And then, I bet you the men aren't going to approach you. Wear a cute little dainty necklace that they will be able to see, or like a very, very nice watch. When you're stuck wearing a uniform, you have no choice but to speak through your accessories because you're stuck wearing a uniform. Do you have ideas on how to upgrade wardrobe that fits our personality? Pinterest. All you have to do, go to Pinterest and type in what aesthetic fits your personality. Okay. So essentially you have to think of it as this, okay? I like to think of like movies, okay? I always like to think of movies. When there is think of a movie and think of a personality type of a character that you relate to. However, that character dresses is most likely the aesthetic match to that personality type. That's usually how they do it. So, like for instance, in Legally Blonde, okay, Reese Witherspoon, she was blonde. She was in a fraternity, or she was in a sorority. She was like the ditzy blonde type or whatever. And so they always had her in pink. She was in that sparkling bikini. They had her in like the little tweed 2-piece, button up and, skirt and things like that. It's easy to just do it based off of movies or TV shows. Thanks, Queen. I should ask around. Since I work for a hotel, it should be a bit more relaxed. Oh, yeah. So you're also behind a desk. So your hair, your makeup, those are also things that you can play with because you're going to be sitting behind a desk, or maybe up at the front. Play with your hair, play with your makeup, have your hair straight, or wear a wig that's straight. That's always going to give polished. And I wouldn't say that this is necessarily for women to like Here's the thing, right? This information, I don't care what anyone does for this information. But what I do feel is though in the world, in society, you have to be with men. You have to be in the world with men. What if you want a promotion and your man is a boss? Or in your man in a man is your boss? What if you want to start a business and the person that you can gain mentorship from is a man, right? There's going to be different ways that you can leverage your appearance knowing these psychological ways that men think. So at the end of the day, this information doesn't have to be just based on you like getting attention from a man or paying attention, but also it is a good way for you to see how society perceives you, not just men, even women. Try a new color, wear a new color top, or wear a different cut of top, wear a different cut of dress, try on a different hairstyle or a wig or a different color. See how society looks at you. And then go like that. I don't get approached at all. I've been single for years. I be questioning if I'm unattractive. I take care of myself. Very rarely do men approach me in public, but I know that I'm attractive. But I also have a very bold, confident personality. I'm just intimidating, and I don't want them approaching me. So I just do all the things possible that I can to be unapproachable to men, honestly. And the thing about it is that men don't care about you respecting them or not. That's the thing. Men don't, I guess, yes, in a way, they care about you respecting them in some sense of the way, but you have to be way more strategic with men. Most women aren't going to be able to do it anyway because most men are not strategic like women are because you're not really conditioned to be. But it's definitely deeper than that. But I really do believe that if men are not approaching you and you have your shit together, I just kind of feel as though, yeah, like you might just be intimidating and resting bitch face. But who cares? Because guess what? That means you're filtering out a lot of men. That means you're filtering out a lot of men who are just going to waste your time, waste your energy. Listen, if a man cannot approach you, he's doing you a favor. Give me 2 seconds. It's hot in here. Like for instance, I was at the gym this morning and I guess there was a girl there working out with her boyfriend and I guess she noticed her boyfriend like looking at me. And so she like he worked out in front of me and then he worked out beside me and I guess his little girlfriend got mad and was like talking to him or whatever and I'm just like I am minding my own business. He kept looking. Okay. So yeah. If you are a woman and yeah, you're very well put together, they men are automatically going to assume that like you're going to want a lot of effort, you're going to want real dates, that you have standards, that you may not tolerate a lot of foolishness. And a lot of men just don't want that measuring stick, to live up to. They don't want that standard to live up to, especially if the man is used to very basic women who like don't require much. Like for instance, so there's a guy that like I deal with, not on a serious level at all, very far from, but like him and I dated or whatever like a long time ago, and I just understand that like based off of his ex girlfriend, he has to be with someone that is beneath him in every sense of the form because well number one he's short so he already has like the issue with his ego, he already has the issue with his self-esteem, and then number two the girl is like very plain. I know the girl like doesn't make as much money as him, and so let me tell you guys something. So I literally had a man in my family tell me this, okay? He has multiple women that he deals with. And so I pretty much had asked him, like, okay, so what makes you decide that like you have one girl that like is your main one girl, like the one girl is his main. So like that's who like he goes out to dinner with, concerts with, vacations with, all of that stuff. And then he has another girl, and like he doesn't, it's like a vampire, right? Like the daylight cannot see this woman, okay, at all. She is stuck in the bedroom. She cannot escape the bedroom. She just graduated from the bedroom, I guess. And so I asked him, I was like, so how do you decipher between who gets to go outside with you versus who is trapped in the bedroom with you? And essentially, he had said that the girl that he keeps in the bedroom, she would get too much attention out in public. And it would be the wrong type of attention. So for instance, the girl that stays in the bedroom, she's thick. She's got a very, very nice body. She drives a nice ass car. She lives in a very, very nice place. The man in question has his shit together. He does. He has his shit together. He has a very nice house. He doesn't care about his vehicle though. But she's up there when it comes to her looks and what she has going on. The main girl, the man in question is better than her. Okay. The man in question has a better career than her. She's still attractive. She's very much still attractive, very much of like a natural beauty. Like her hair is natural, all that stuff. She has a lot of natural beauty. And so I asked him, I said, if your main girl, I said, if I took your main girl and we made her like, I'm adjusting my wig. We took your main girl and we made her into a straight baddie. So like we made her perfect. Okay. I said, would you take the perfect version of her? No, I didn't say that. I said, if you had the baddest woman ever who looked just like her. So she's the same woman physically, but like she has like she's much more well-rounded. He was like, I would still take the main girl. And I was like, okay, so why would you still take the main girl instead of like the baddie version, like the 100% great version of the girl? And he pretty much had said, he was like, because of my ego, like I have to be in a position where like I'm better than the woman. I have to be in a position where like I'm the one that's like getting like a decent amount of attention, not her. And then he even talked about the status that comes along with the attention that he gets from like the certain type of woman. So the main woman, he said that he gets a lot of attention from like older white people. So like older white men and older white women. Yeah, he literally was like, yeah, he's like, with her, I get attention from those type of people. With the other girl, like I'll get attention from like ninjas, essentially. So that's what a lot of men will do too. They will base your appearance and kind of like how you carry yourself off of the status that comes along with them being in proximity to you. That's how a lot of men are thinking. It's disgusting, but that is really how a lot of them are thinking. So, another reason is that a lot of men just don't want to have to impress you, and that's another thing too. Um, does he do stuff for the main girl? Yeah, for sure. But is the main girl easy to impress? Yeah, for sure. Like she doesn't ask for much. Does the man like still do things? Absolutely. But when you're a woman that you look like you don't need anything, you know your value, you've been there, done that. A lot of these men already kind of understand that like you're going to be very hard to manipulate. You cannot be breadcrumbed. They can't emotionally play with you. And so this is why they're always going to go for Pygmisha. You know, when Pygmisha looks insecure, when Pygmisha looks eager, the woman that's very flattered by male attention. The reason why we're talking about this is because really what I'm trying to drive home to you women is that you really shouldn't care about if a man is approaching you or not. That's the whole basis of why I'm talking about this, because as you guys are hearing me breaking down this psychology, does it really sound like you should? I mean, imagine you being a woman who Naturally, you like the finer things in life. Naturally, your self esteem is boosted and comes from you taking care of yourself. Imagine imagine you reducing yourself and like not taking care of yourself, not having any self improvement, just not caring about yourself, just so that way a man will approach you, or just so that you can have a higher chance of you being with a man. Like, no, it just is a waste, because listen to their psychology. Like, listen to how they're thinking of you, listen to how they're sizing you up. And if you've noticed the trend in everything that I've said, it's them first. How is she going to make me look? How is it going to affect my ego if I approach her? What am I going to have to spend when I'm in a relationship with her? They're not thinking about, oh, I'm looking at her and I could tell that she has Louis Vuitton. Oh, she's so fine. I would love to buy her a Louis Vuitton. Oh, she's out here making a ton of money. I would love to help her keep making more money. They're not thinking that. Every single thing that I've stated to you has been me, 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 me. I. How can I protect my ego? How can I get my self esteem boosted up from being with this woman? How can I invest the least amount of money in her? So it's a waste to even care. Plain Janes are literally a man asking you to shrink yourself. I refuse to be put in a box. Exactly. This is weird. It goes far beyond caring, love, heart space, romance. They would be approaching you for any reasons other than love. Exactly. Do these women know that when it comes to luxury items and products, what they buy? Oh. She's talking about DH Gate. Exactly. Men are used to basic women, and that's okay. I do not want to look ordinary. Every time I leave my house, I look like I should be on Vogue. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. Um, because they are not approaching you for anything for your benefit. Never. It's never for your benefit. They are never looking at you thinking, how can I improve her life? How can I make her happier? How can I make her life easier? They're not looking to approach you with those thoughts at all. Okay, so another thing is that men tend to choose women based on their own perception. This is a really big one. A man does not approach what he desires. Okay? He does not. So quit thinking that approachability is in relation to desirability. It's not. A man approaching you does not mean that he desires you. Men approach what they believe they have access to. That is how they are approaching women. If he sees you and you're very confident, you have yourself put together, you're very smart, you're very, very, very well read, he doesn't even see that in himself. He does not even see those characteristics in himself. And so he's not going to try to talk to you, because he understands, like, whoa, shit, like, I'm none of those things. No, I'm absolutely none of those things. I'm not going to even waste my time trying to do these things at all. And like I said before, this is not a conversation of absolutes. I'm not saying that when you look like that type of woman, a man is never going to approach you. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that men are always going to look out for self first. I think women take things take things too personally when it comes to themselves in relations to men. Like, valuing your self-worth, valuing your self-esteem, your confidence, your value on a man approaching you or not, it's a waste. You're wasting your time, because they're just thinking, how is this going to benefit me? And what woman can I approach that it at the end of the day, it's going to benefit me? It's not about you. It's not about you. It's really just about how the man sees himself in comparison to you. This is the reason why a lot of men are jealous, because men are forcibly in a state to compare themselves to you. So when you're across the table from a man, you know, and he's asking you, oh, well, what do you do for work? Oh, yeah, I'm a biomedical engineer. I work for, for whoever. You talking about your height, and then he's like, okay, I just work at the reception desk. Automatically he's going to start comparing himself. Well, fuck, like she's doing all this and I'm only doing this. And then the date will end and you'll think that the date went really well because you're like, oh, I don't care about you being a clerk. I don't care about those things. I can look past that. And then he ghosts you. And you think that you're doing the man a favor by looking past things. Listen, as a woman, the worst thing that you could ever do is look past things in a man, because a man is never going to look past things with you. They're never going to do it. They are never going to look past anything with you. If they don't like how you look, they're going to walk past you. They're going to walk past you. They're not going to look past anything. Okay? If you do not fulfill their need in the way that they see fit, they aren't looking past shit. This is why you, as a woman, you need to be pickier. You need to be pickier and you need to quit. The issue is this: there is not a good pool of men out there. First of all, they're not going to there's not a good pool out here. And so the issue is that women are so obsessed with having a man despite the shitty pool that women are like, he has this wrong and this wrong and this wrong and this wrong. But I mean, like, at least I have a plus one. At least I have someone I could go out to dinner with. At least I have someone that I could, hang out with for Christmas. That's horrible. That's a horrible mindset to have. If you have the mindset of, at least I'm with somebody, at least I have someone, you're ruining the dating pool. You're ruining men's perception. You're ruining men's value, and you're ruining your value. You're ruining your value, because guess what? What women don't realize is that the more effort and time and energy and love that you give to a man that you pretty much had to settle for, because I'm sorry, ladies. If you're fit and you want a fit man and the man is not fit, but he has money, you're settling. If the man is fit and he has money, but he is emotionally unavailable, he doesn't know how to talk to you properly, you cannot talk to him about issues, he is not a good communicator, you settled. Point blank, period. You've settled. And so then what happens is that every time you do that with one man, what's going to happen? If you're doing it, then someone else is going to do it. The next person is going to do it. The next woman is going to do it. And so they're going to have all these men that's like, oh, well, it's okay for me to be overweight because I had a boyfriend. I had a girlfriend. She didn't care. She didn't care about me being overweight. She didn't care about me being overweight. Oh, the other girl that I was in a relationship with, oh yeah, like she was with me for 3 years and I had no money. So what's the point of me getting any money? There's going to be another woman out there that's going to be perfectly fine with me not having any money. So it's fine. The reason why there's a lot of women who are having like self-improvement, a lot of that comes from the idea of women understand these men, they're going to be very, very quick. They're going to be very, very quick to not want to deal with you anymore. They're going to be very, very quick to not deal with you anymore once they realize she doesn't have it all. She doesn't have what it is that I want. So you know what? I'm just going to leave. I'm going to bow out gracefully, and I'm just not going to talk to her anymore. I'm just not going to talk to her anymore. And then meanwhile, the women are like, it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. I can look past that. I can look past the fact that he's broke. I can look past the fact that his gut sticks out further than his penis does. I can look past the fact that he's bald. I can look past the fact that he has to ask his mama for everything. Go be a grown woman in a relationship with a man or in a marriage with a man and be like, oh baby, yeah, so I asked my father for permission. He's gonna look at you like you're fucking crazy. Women are exceedingly boosting up these men's value. This is why they think they can get away with being fat, being unattractive, not getting their teeth fixed. Women will be so quick to hop on a table. Okay, women are risking their lives, hopping on a table to get a BBL. Tell me how many men are hopping on a plane to get a goddamn hair transplant in Turkey. How many of them are doing that? How many of them are investing money to get their manhood bigger? How many of them are investing money into getting taller? They're not doing that. Can you do a review on Michelle Obama and Tracy Ross interview? The men's are in a tizzy. I've only seen a clip of it. Of course, the one clip that went viral with her pretty much saying that, like, you know, there's some regret that she has on like not finding her person or whatever. I don't know why she would say that. I don't know why the hell she would say that. You can't think about it. I'm like, you can't promote a certain lifestyle and then all of a sudden be like, I don't like this anymore. The men are going to come for you all the time. They're going to be like, that's what you did. And then also her liking the younger men. I think she's 53. When she's saying younger men, she's probably talking about a man that's like 40. Like, they're like, ew, she's going for younger men. That's ridiculous. I used to feel so guilty when I didn't like the person who was interested in me. Look, the show Millionaire Matchmaker. Look at how brutal the 2000s were. We have to watch this. We have to watch this.
Date you? You're really short. You know, you're bald. What's great about you? What are you going to give her?
I'm bringing me.
No.
This is what men are going to say to you every time. I'm bringing me. Okay, sorry about that. My camera was being weird. They're going to approach you and be like, I'm bringing me. And it's like, you don't like them. You don't. You're not even attracted to them. You don't even like them. And women need to make it more, women need to, obviously with safety in mind. Okay. I'm not trying to get anyone harmed out here. So please don't think that. But within reason, you got to let these men know I'm just like, you're bald. You don't fit the bill of being attractive. What's so special about you? You're bringing me, but what does me entail?
No,
Isn't
there
that
has to be
enough?
more than you. You're not enough, trust me.
Come on. I'm big enough.
You really got a big schlong?
I didn't measure it recently, but, you know, who knows?
Okay, next time I see you, I want you to measure it.
Okay.
Seriously.
I don't know if I can find a tape measure that's really gonna be big enough.
Be big enough? He's probably not going to be able to find a tape measure that's small. There's no tape measure that's fucking that small.
Tell me, when's the longest relationship you ever had?
I think 6 months, maybe.
That's not very long for
The longest relationship is 6 months.
40-something years old.
40-something.
Have you ever been in love?
Look at his creepy smile.
Never.
Oh my God, that's like the saddest thing in the
Absolutely
world.
not.
Yeah, Sean's a total creep, but there's a teeny part of me that feels sorry for him. To be that age and never have love, it's kind of sad.
Yeah. I don't need this mic anymore because it switched my camera and my mic. But yeah, look at how confident he was. Bald, in his 40s, never been in love before. What a horrible resume. Exactly. It's so satisfying telling them straight to their faces about their flaws. Absolutely. I tell these men straight up, you're not attractive. You're too overweight. You need to lose some weight. You don't earn enough money. I tell them straight up because men don't have any problem either saying it to you or making it very clear why they aren't attracted to you. Like, you would approach me? What would make you think that you're eligible to even approach me? What would make you think that you are even eligible to be in the same bracket as me? Will you do a video about being a woman living alone? I mean, I don't really have enough to really give on being a woman living alone. I look at it like this. Never have the same schedule, okay? Especially if you live in like close confines, you have a person, you have creepers. You need to make sure that you don't keep the same routine. So like you do a little 15 minutes late this day, you do a little 20 minutes earlier this time. Have a different schedule. Be aware of your surroundings, and you do need to have a weapon, preferably a steel weapon that can have bullets exit out of it. Just in case. I know I have one. I sleep with that damn thing. Ain't nobody finna come get me. Yeah, get a Ring doorbell camera. You just have to make sure that you have as much security and protection as possible. That's definitely the most important thing if you are living alone. Exactly. Yep, guys like Sean have been dating S workers all his life. They get addicted and they don't know how to have real life relationships. 100%. 100%. So we talked about self-perception, and then I gave you guys a little inkling about the whole social proof thing with the example that I gave you with the man in my family. So men also will choose approaching you or not based off of social proof, okay? Social proof and status, okay? So who is around you? What type of attention would being next to you, what type of attention would it get them? Do you look like you're someone that might be of importance? Are you in a space where you have a lot of visibility? You might be a content creator, because here's the thing too. So the same male in question, I had asked him, because there was another woman that he used to deal with back in the day, and she had her shit together. She had a very good career, very well educated, beautiful, always in the gym, always taking care of herself. And I was like, how come she wasn't your main? And he told me, he was like, well, when I met her, he was like, I didn't have a whole lot. He was like, I was literally like, just like getting kicked off in my career. I was like, just getting my life started. And he was like, I remember she had invited me as like a +1 to like, you know, a party or whatever. And he said, you know, she would like bump shoulders with lawyers, and she knew doctors, and, you know, she knew, you know, the mayor and the governor, and, you know, she had all of these connections or whatever. And so he was like, honestly, he was like, at the time, he's like, I just didn't have enough where I felt comfortable enough to be with a woman that had more than me, that had more accolades than me. This is the reason why, if you are a woman and like you're very, very successful, you got to be with a man that's more successful than you. And the higher you rise up, the easier it gets. I'm going to do a live stream about that, pretty much telling you that as a successful woman, you pretty much should just accept the fact that you're going to be single in most cases. And if you choose to not be single, you're probably going to be settling. And the thing about it is this, I cannot tell you as a woman what to not and to be okay with. If you are a woman that doesn't care about money, but the man is very, he has a lot of emotional maturity, he can communicate, he does little things in your life to make your life easier, then that's still a win in my opinion, because you're not going to be able to win in the financial realm in most cases when you're a very successful woman. But it's their ego. Their ego is what makes it an issue when you're settling for someone, because men want it all. That's the thing. Men want it all. They want, it's like that Drake song. I want the money, money in the cars, cars in the clothes, the hoes. They want everything. And so when they see you, when they see that you have everything but a man, like that light-skinned guy on Hardly Initiated podcast, he said some dumb shit like that, talking about, yeah, you know, I'll hear a woman say that, you know, I have the job and I have the home and I have this, and, you know, and then she says the only thing that she needs is a man. And he said that he doesn't like that. He said he doesn't like it when he hear women say that. And the reason why is because men are not useful. Men are not useful at all in any way. And so men pretty much need you to not be worth a damn in order for him to feel useful. And so when he cannot feel useful, it's no point. And the thing about it is that his usefulness has to be tied to a very low effort. That's the thing. They don't want to be useful. They don't want to see you making $1 million and then be useful to teach you how to make $2 million because he's made $5 million. They don't want to do that. They want to be useful. They want to be useful to you when you're making $20,000 and he's making $50,000. And so he's going to teach you how to make $30,000 because that's very easy. Very, very easy. So they don't want to work harder to get themselves improved to be able to help you, because it's like, why would I listen to you? You haven't done anything. You haven't done anything for yourself to prove to me that, even in your own life, to make me want to take you seriously enough to want to get advice from you. You just haven't. So with the whole status thing, please, like, as a woman, just accept the fact that when you're a woman of high status, you're either going to have to settle or just be single. Me, I rather just be single, because I'm not a nice person when I'm settling. I'm just not. I'm not going to be nice to a man that I settled for. You're going to build resentment for the man. You're going to grow a disdain for him. You're just not, in the long term, it's just not going to work out. You're going to have to settle on a far, far stretch where you're just not going to be comfortable. And yes, being with a man, you're going to have to settle in one way or another, because they're not ever the full package. They're not ever the full package, and they're never going to be the full package. They don't want to be the full package. Men want to be a project completed at 60%, and then they want you to help them get to 100% to get to a new woman. Shira said the divine feminine will be single before she settles. Absolutely, because the thing about it is that men extract, men take from a woman. So when you are settling, you are not gaining anything by being with a man. You're not. When you settle, you are getting extracted by a man. Point blank, period. There is no way around it. You are not settling for a man and getting what you want. The whole point for you to be with a man is to get what you want. These men don't approach you when you're looking good because they understand that they cannot give you what you want. So do not take it personal. Do not look at that as a reflection of your self-worth. Do not look at that as a reflection of your value. Do not look at that as a reflection of your validation, because it's not. At the end of the day, men are not the value. Men have to take what they can get. And they're always going to put themselves in the easiest position to take what they can get. They cannot take anything from a woman who has herself together, who has strong boundaries, whose mind is in the right place. So you're not a good target. Shira pretty much talks about, in order for you to extract money from a man, you need the right target. When men are picking and choosing who they're going to approach, they're looking for the right target. It's that simple. And that's the reason why I said the finances, right? If you're a woman and you make a lot of money and you're out earning the average man, in most cases, you won't be able to have finances on the table. You're not going to be able to have finances on the table of something that you can extract from a man because you're already making it. So you have to go back to the drawing board and ask yourself, okay, what else do you value? Most emotional intelligence is the new currency for men in dating. And they're not doing too well on that. They aren't putting much value on their emotional intelligence. So I feel as though if you are a woman, you're upper echelon, you're out earning the average man. If money cannot be the number one thing that you get, and then you don't care about that, you're cool with being the main breadwinner, you need to be with someone that can be emotionally intelligent and someone that can get the weight off your goddamn back. You're a working woman, so guess what? He should be cooking the meals. And that's the thing, most men don't want to do that. I don't think ASAP has a very hard time. I don't think ASAP is having a very hard time with Rihanna. Rihanna's definitely not caring about a fucking ring because Rihanna's smart enough to know she has an empire. She has an empire now with Fenty Beauty and with Savage X. She's not going to get married. It doesn't make any sense for her to get married because she's the main breadwinner. If she's going to be the one that's going to have to pay child support. She's going to have to be the one to pay alimony. It makes no sense for Rihanna to get married to A$AP Rocky. Zero. She wanted kids. She got her kids. He lets her be visible. He's not in jail. He was he pleaded not guilty and he was not guilty. Exactly. That's all she wanted. She wanted kids. That's it. That's all. That's all she cared about. So when you are a woman who you're top tier, you need to be thinking outside the box of money because you can't afford to get married when you're the main breadwinner. It didn't work out for Halle Berry. It didn't work out for Mary J. Blige. It didn't work out for Sherry Shepherd. It didn't work out for Wendy Williams. The list goes on and on and on. The list goes on and on and on. Sherry Shepherd is paying child support on a child that ain't even hers. So at that point, you essentially paid for a husband. You essentially paid for a husband. Having the ring doesn't benefit you as a woman when you're the breadwinner. Because the court of law, especially if you have children, they're always going to go based off of the person that makes more money. It's just we're so used to the man making more money that you just automatically assume, oh, well, he's a man, so he's going to have to pay me. With what money? When you're the one making the most money. The court of law, and then if you have children, the court of law, when they are doing child support, it is based off of the level in which the child is living in. So if the child is going to a private school, if the child is getting a personal driver to be taken to school, they factor all of those finances into account to make sure that the child's type of living, his quality of life or her quality of life is not impacted by the divorce. So you would have to pay, as the main breadwinner, whatever it would cost to maintain your child's cost of living. Husband in a box. Sherry Shepherd is a bug-eyed pick-me. I despise her. I digress. I don't really know much about her. I just know about like the divorce. But yeah, Oprah was like, no. I have way too much money. You're not getting a lick of my money. Because here's the thing, men don't have a problem saying that to you ladies. Men with no shame sit here and say, I'm not marrying y'all. Y'all aren't getting any of my money. Y'all aren't taking a fucking cent from me. They have no problem saying that to women. And so if you are a breadwinner, you should have no problem saying that to men. The ring isn't worth anything. I'm telling you. The ring doesn't guarantee anything. So yeah, for a lot of men, when they feel socially inferior, they're really not going to approach women. They're not going to approach that type of woman. And another thing too is that the man needs to be secure. Most of them are too goddamn insecure. It's just a piece of paper. I get approached too often by older guys like, what the fuck am I projecting to make you believe I would be interested in you? Girl, they're just trying to see if it's obvious that they're old women, and you need to remind them. Y'all, I had a patient. Patient was like almost 80. He gets up, he has his walker, he is fucking walking slow. He's walking slower than a fucking froze over faucet in the wintertime. He's walking slow as hell. Right as he got up, hello, sunshine. I'm like, ugh, here we go. He said the old man line. Who says hello, sunshine anymore? Only old men say that shit. So I'm like, here we go. So I'm like, all right, so we're going to do your exam. I'm explaining everything to him. And then I'm like, I need you to lift your shirt up. Do y'all believe what he said? He said, do I get my allowance? He said, do I get my allowance, when I asked him to put his shirt up during the exam. Now, I was at work, so I had to like laugh it off. Obviously, I had to be professional. If I wasn't at work, I would have said, do I get my allowance for you to be able to even look at me, to even be able to talk to me? I should be the one receiving an allowance. Those colors are gorgeous on you. Thank you. But yeah, am I going to get my allowance? Like, no, Where is my allowance? Look at me and look at you. If we go out, who's going to get the most attention? It ain't you. Traffic got to slow down for you to walk across the street. People got to pinch their nose when you're walking past because they be smelling old. Child, no. Allowance my tail. Men keep telling us it's just a piece of paper and we should believe them. It's not just a piece of paper unless it makes dollars and cents. Exactly. Ladies, it's a piece of paper. Marriage is a piece of fucking paper. You're just projecting all of these things onto the piece of paper. You're projecting loyalty. You're projecting some type of financial compensation. Like, you're projecting things onto marriage that is not real. That is not true. It's not real. A piece of paper is not going to protect you from getting cheated on. A piece of paper is not going to protect you from having a child by this man and he has you do everything still. A piece of paper is not going to protect you from financial abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse. It literally is a piece of paper. Do you? Girl, I just started this job. I'm not trying to get into no trouble, child. I ain't trying to get into no trouble. I gotta peep the scene on these people. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Women, if you're gonna get married, you need to quit doing it for love. Like, when I hear women arguing about a prenup and they're like, he wants me to sign a prenup. Okay. You do know that you can write shit in the prenup too. See how quick a man changes his tune. The thing about it is that women don't ever want to be in a position of dominance. Like, women don't ever want to be in a position of power, ever. Like, women are not strategic. Y'all are not strategic. If a man says that he wants to have a prenup, right away, you feel as though you're no longer validated. You feel as though you're not worthy. You feel as though he doesn't love you. You're acting out of emotion. You're acting out of emotion. When a man wants you to sign a prenup, women want men to be emotional. They're not emotional. That's not in their nature. That's not who they are. They are making a decision in their best interest. Why aren't you? Instead of getting mad about a man doing a prenup because he's trying to protect his finances, you should be asking yourself, why am I not protecting my finances? Why am I not protecting my well-being? And then these will be the same women who will have the nerve to want to have children. And you're over here saying, I'm okay. Love is going to get us through the distance. Love is going to protect us. And then guess what? You signed a prenup. And guess what? Now your ass is homeless. Your children are homeless. You have no form of income. You got to live back at home with your mom because you weren't protecting yourself. You weren't looking out for self. You thought that loving a man was going to be enough to look after you. And it's not. These men are not your guardian. These men are not your parent. These men are not here to have some protective nature over you. They're not signing the prenup to figure out how much money to fucking give you. They're signing a prenup to say how much money you're going to fucking give them and how much money of theirs you're not going to get. Men cheat all the time. Be strategic. If he's over here talking about if we divorce, this is how it's going to happen. You need to have it in the prenup. If you cheat, this is what's going to happen. This is how much money I'm going to receive. This is how we're going to have custody of the children. You take their nature and you leverage it. You take their nature and you use it against them. But women are too busy. He would never cheat. He would never cheat. So in denial of male nature that you don't know how to protect yourself from it. That's the issue. Exactly. Look at what Janet Jackson did. Look at what Janet Jackson did. Perfect prenup. Perfect prenup. We stay married for 5 years. I get millions. We have a baby. I get millions. So she stayed in a marriage for 5 years and had a baby, and she got double millions, or however much her payout was. That's how you do it. Get something out of it. Quit thinking that love is real. It's not for men. It's not. Your validation and your worth should be tied to what you're giving yourself. Your validation and your self-worth is tied on men approaching you, men giving you attention, men complimenting you, men noticing you. You're lost, you're stupid, you're brainwashed. These are the same genders of men that are sleeping with bodies in the graveyard, with turkeys, with lizards. They have no standard at all. They're so desperate that they don't care they don't care where they get access from, as long as they get access. He cheated on her. She discovered it with the girl looking like her but younger. Ex-wife cheat is just a question of the time and circumstance. Exactly. And they make it seem as if it's going to be on a billboard of their husband or boyfriend cheating on them. Come on. They're not going to be like, babe, guess what? Look, I cheated on you today. Here, I even recorded it for you to watch. Oh my God, you're going to laugh at this. They're like, come on, how unrealistic can you be? I heard that some guy essayed a body on the NYC subway. I am so glad I left New York City. I am so glad that I left New York City. Oh my God, that place was a portal of hell. That place was a portal of hell. When I lived there in 2023 and my vibration was low, New York City was cool. It was cool. When I came back in 2024 and my vibration was high, oh, it was hell on earth. I am so happy that I'm here in Florida. I am so happy that I'm here in Florida, child. New York City is nothing but negative, dead energy. The divine feminine does not thrive in New York City. It does not thrive in New York City, not how it is now. I'm so happy I chose my education over getting a husband. Girl, who you telling? Not once when I'm in my place, I'm cooking my food, I'm in my bed, watching my TV shows, watching what I want to watch, listening to the music that I want to listen to, leaving the house when I want to go to the places that I want to, doing what I want to. Do I sit here and think a man would make all of this better? As soon as I start thinking of a man, I'm like, I gotta share the TV. I have to go in a different room and watch what I want to watch. I gotta go to the grocery store and have some man texting me. Oh, you're at the grocery store. Can you pick me up a so-and-so while you're there? Go in the bathroom, shit all over the place that's not mine. Oh, I see you in the kitchen cooking. While you're in the kitchen, can you? I don't fucking have time or the patience. I don't have the fucking time. I would never trade the life that I have now. I couldn't imagine being at the gym, in the groove, getting a good pump. Oh, babe, I know you're at the gym right now, but no. Yes, When a woman and a man live together, when they're married, it adds an additional like 7 hours weekly to a woman's workload. I'm not doing any of that shit. I'm going to eat 90 ounces of lasagna by myself, not all today. I am going to make sourdough bread. I'm not going to buy the starter, though. I'm going to make my own starter. So I'm going to go to the grocery store today and get everything that I need to make my own sourdough bread. Like Ray J. See, Ray J is smart. Ray J knows that he's a piece of shit. Like, I actually, despite how Ray J was with Princess, what did I study in college? I got a degree in radiological sciences, so I did x-ray with that. And then I went back to school. I can't remember exactly what the degree is. It's like a bachelor's of science for ultrasound. So that's what I do now, got for ultrasound. But Ray J said this. Ray J said, so he puts money in a fund. He puts money in a fund to have a nurse, so that when he gets old, he can have multiple nurses. See how smart he was? See how he knows that he's a piece of shit? And so he's not going to rest on the fact to try to find some young thing and that's a nurse, or that's a nurse practitioner, or that's a doctor to try to take care of him. Ray J knows he's a piece of shit. He said, you want to know what? I won't even risk that. Let me have enough money. Let me save enough money so that nurses can just take care of me. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what a man is supposed to do. Have the money, have the funds to have people take care of you. As a woman, that's what you should be doing. I have no fear. I have no fear of anything being alone. I'll just hire someone to take care of me. As a woman, that's what you should be thinking. You want to have a child? Save up enough money to get in vitro fertilization and do it yourself. Have enough money so you can hire a nanny, a cook, a chef, a cleaning lady, a night nurse. Have enough money. You can do it. Cut out the middleman. Make your life easier. How do men choose a baby mama? Love you, by the way. Thank you. Honestly, men choose a baby mama. Number one, first off, they want their baby to look a certain way. Oh my God. First it's cold in here, then it's warm in here. Give me a second. The first thing, they want the baby to look a certain way because they want to brag about the baby. Oh, look at how beautiful my daughter is. Look at my son. My son looks just like this. So that's the first thing. They're gonna usually try to, if they can, if they have the leverage to do it, because not all men have the leverage to do it to do. And then strategically, when they really hate you, like they really, really hate you, they will make you their baby mama when you are on the highest trajectory of your life. If you want to know that you've been trapped by a man, let's say that you're a woman and you already have a child and you've been baby mamaed, think back to when y'all were conceiving. Think back to when your child was conceived and go think of what you were doing in your life. Were you going back to school? Were you learning a skill? Were you starting a business? And he was well aware of this. If you especially if you guys were in a relationship for a very long time, if you all were in a relationship for a very long time and he baby mamaed you around the time that you had a high trajectory in your life, he 1000% tracked you. 1000% tracked you. Because he didn't want you to succeed. He didn't want you to outpace him. He wanted to slow you down. Men are not joking when they say, I want to slow you down. They're not joking. Please it's a threat. When a man says that he wants to put a baby in you, he wants to slow you down, he wants to stop your hot girl summer, it's a threat. It's a threat. Start calling 911 immediately. Sir, I need to file a report now. This man is harassing me, saying that he wants to put a baby in me. We need attention right now. Call the people immediately. That is a threat. That shit is not cute. It's not a compliment. No. And then also, y'all already know you already know I'm gonna sprinkle the DL in there too. If you're one of 4+ baby mamas, girl, he just picking whoever he can to prove he ain't gay. If you got a basketball team, if the baby mamas can make a basketball team of how many it is of them, that man is just picking whoever it is that he can pick to prove he ain't gay. He trying to baby mama anyone and everyone that he possibly can to be able to prove that he's not gay. Yeah, girl, Nick Cannon is oof. Child. Mm-mm. When he started wearing that little turban, when I saw him wearing that little turban, I was just like, okay, something's going on. Getting baby trapped by an emotionally abusive, cheating bum. I cannot wait to move out. I can't wait for you to move out either, girl. Best of luck to you. I know that's got to be emotionally draining. I wish I had the land to build tiny homes for single women, form our own community, travel together, celebrate holidays, birthdays, support each other. That is literally my goal. Okay, they started DEI. I need the money so I can implement DEI, where it will just be women only. Okay, I want us to have our own communities. I really, really, really someone probably will steal the idea, but I would love it if women had their own ride share app. Like we only pick up women and we only employ women to be drivers. Oh, I would love that. Imagine being able to get a ride share service and you don't have to fear it being a man. You don't have to fear riding in a car with some strange man. Like, I was with a man who was obsessed. When we went to bed, he finished quick. I think he was embarrassed. He never talked to me again after. I liked him too. Too bad. Girl, he did you a favor. That means he has no emotional control. That means he cannot. That means he doesn't have any emotional and physical control. Men that don't last long in the bedroom, they're weak. Point blank period. They can make all the excuses that they want to make. A man that finishes quickly in the bedroom, he is emotionally and mentally stunted. He cannot shift his focus to be focused on your pleasure as opposed to his pleasure. It's always a red flag if a man finishes quick. I don't care. Oh, well, that you should take that as a compliment. Oh, that means that you're tight. No. No, 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 no. No, no, no. You don't go into an ocean without a life jacket. Point blank period. There's a video of two single moms who are raising their kids together and doing great. They're straight. Honestly, we're gonna see more and more of that. Women are really realizing that they're better in community with other women. My own uncle told me who would marry me. I am so ugly. Mind you, I was pretty beautiful. He was jealous. Your own uncle was jealous. But yeah, I want a women's ride share app. We need to put our monies together. I need a female investor. I ain't taking no investor. Cause see, that's the thing too. It's like, this is the reason why it's very important for women to get their money up. This is why it's very important for women to become more business minded. Women, you need to be thinking bigger. You need to be thinking about being the CEO, the CFO, the owner, the investor. Because if you like, let's just say I wanted to start, let's just say I did want to start a rideshare company, and it be all women. The investor is most likely going to be a man. Once you give a company over and you need investment from the money, they now want their money back. And so guess what the man's going to do? Ride in a, they're going to think, oh, well, sex sells. Maybe you should ride in a bikini or something and pick up other women. Maybe they're going to exploit it in some way. They're going to exploit the business idea in some way. Lyft used to be for women only. It got infiltrated. Oh, I could see it already. I could see the Dusties already. Because they do this with DoorDash. You think you'll be having a woman that's going to be delivering the food to you. And then, of course, it's some strange ass man who's at your door ready to deliver your food. And it's like, I thought you said that your name was Sandra. I thought you said your name was Sandra. Why is Saul at my door? What if they brag about how long they can last in the bedroom? What does that mean? I have a video on root work on the spiritual channel. Also, mind you, we have a video on the spiritual channel today. We're talking about sex magic. We're talking about celibacy. We're talking about using sexual energy or withdrawing withdrawing from sex, abstaining from sex, and how to alchemize that energy for your own benefit. Men that are going to brag about how long they can last in the bedroom and things like that, it's because they're doing root work on you. They're doing some type of practice on you. That's the reason why they're telling you that it's lasting long. Men typically, smart men aren't saying anything. They're not. Smart men are not saying anything at all. If anything, they're going to give you more information just regarding how the experience is going to be based off of their current situation. So, for instance, if the man hasn't had sex in a long time, they should probably be telling you, hey, it's probably going to be a little bit difficult. I'm probably going to have to go a little bit slow because it's been a while. You know what I mean? I had men tell me that and I'm like, okay, that makes perfect sense. At least I know. That way I can't go out here and say, oh yeah, he sucked in bed. No, he literally told me, he's like, I haven't been active. So I'm going to have to go slow. It's probably not going to be this glorious, amazing experience for you because it's been so long. So I feel like if a man is at least giving you information like that and kind of letting you know, okay, the experience is probably going to be like XYZ because of that. But men that brag, oh, chow. Please do signs on how men are jealous of you. I probably have a video like it already, but I could make another video. I can make another video. Women need to specify, make sure it's for cis women. True. Exactly. I don't want them near me because, she doesn't want the 3-letter word. I don't blame you. Haven't heard from my boo since Tuesday. Girl, it's Saturday. What's going on? Why are you calling him your boo? You single now, girl. You should have wrote, haven't heard from this stranger since Tuesday. You single, girl. Congratulations. What's the name of the spiritual channel? The Mystic Sovereign. I'll link it. You my boo and you ain't talked to me. You my boo and you ain't talked to me since Tuesday. Boo hoo. Boo hoo. Exactly. I'd assume he passed away. Concepts of condolences. Concepts of condolences, sir. I knew someone who is not well endowed and can't last at all, but has financial prowess. Turns out homeboy was married and has a newborn. The audacity. Girl, his wife probably don't want to sleep with him. His wife don't want to sleep with his wife is probably thinking, it feels like I'm not sleeping with him anyway. So what's the point? I'll make him go be someone else's problem. When wives are married to men who don't fit the bill, especially sexually, I don't even think those women care if the man is cheating, to be honest with you. Honestly, I really don't think that they're caring that he's sharing his shrimp with other people. Because why would she want, like, I'm sorry, she probably doesn't even care. Do you think it's right to give men your number to basically make the first move? Hell no. Hell no. Don't ever give your man a number. You're the value. You are the value. If he's not asking for your number, think of it like this. When you make the first move, that essentially means that you start chasing after a man. And then what men will do, men won't sit here and be like, oh, like she's showing an interest in me, and like actually be grateful that you're showing an interest in him. Then what men will do, they'll like have a little carrot and be like, here's the carrot I'm going to dangle over you now. Come closer, and then make you work to do all this shit. Always remember this. Once you have to start to work to get a man, you're going to have to keep working to keep a man. Making the first move, giving him your number, because then what? What if you give him your number and he don't text you? Then what? Then you're going to be pissed. Oh, he's watching your stories. Oh, yeah, he's trying to get you to chase after him. Fuck him. When men are all into you and then they pull back randomly all of a sudden, it's because they're trying to be manipulative. They're trying to get you to chase after them. They're like, oh, yeah, I done got her hooked. I done got her pumped up with all this dopamine, this vitamin D in between my pants. She's hooked now, so let me test and see how hooked she is. And so what they'll do to test it, they'll pull back. The best thing you could do, he's dead. As soon as he pulls back, oh, well, I guess they got him. I guess the good Lord took him. In Japan, that's the case. Women there don't care. Good thing even that he frequent hostess bars, so long as he bring the money so she can multiply and distribute it. Exactly. If I'm a woman and I'm married to a man with a little shrimp, and he's bringing home money, I will just go have his shrimp be someone else's problem. I will go have someone else. You want my husband? Surprise, 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 surprise. Yes, mute him on your stories. Mute him on your stories. Take him off your file list and go private. Exactly. So cut off access. Cut off access. Here's the thing. He's choosing to have access to her still, which means that he's still into her. And he's also trying to be an asshole to make it seem as though, oh, I'm looking at your story still. Because then what's going to happen, it will be leaking in her mind, well, he's watching my stories. Why isn't he texting me? Once you cut off access, he no longer is going to win. Cut off access, because this is the thing. Now he can think, well, she cut me off. She must be having sex with someone else. She must be dealing with someone else. Nope, cut off access so you can make his head spiral. Cut off access so you can make him be thinking in circles and freaking the fuck out. Well, why can't I see her stories? Especially if you post regularly, he's going to be like, oh, well, she didn't post today. And then he's going to try to search your profile, and then he's not going to be able to search it. I hate when men are manipulators. I feel manipulation is for women. 100%. This is why I teach manipulation and dark manipulation on the Patreon. Because as a woman, you need to know how to manipulate. Men manipulating is out of survival. It's very weak. Women do it better, and women gain more and give it back when they're manipulative with men. Do they want you more when you're with someone else? Of course. Of course. What if he likes your story 2 months after? He lost his whole clientele. When men leave and then come back randomly, they lost I call it their whole clientele. Okay. So they have their whole clientele of different women that, once he's done with you, then he'll go to someone else and then she'll entertain him. And then once she's no longer entertaining him, he'll go try for another one. He lost his whole clientele and he can't pull anyone else. So he figured, let me put a little feeler out there and see. Let me put a little feeler out there and see where I stand with her. I know I ain't talked to her. I done ghosted her for 2 months. Let me see. Men don't want a pure woman. Y'all have so much to learn. Y'all must be new here, because for a Saturday, I'm assuming that I got a lot of my topic was very broad, so I probably got a lot of new people, because I don't remember you. Men don't want pure women. Okay, they don't want pure women. The reason why men are saying that they want pure women is because they want it for the validation of other men. They want a woman in public that other men can look at and say, oh, he got him a good one. He got him a bad one. This is why they're going to marry a woman that is pure. They're going to marry a woman that's very boring. And they're going to cheat on the boring woman with a sex worker, with a 304, because that's what they really want. That's what they really want. But they are shunned and shamed in society if they decide to wife that, if they decide to take that seriously. Exactly. Pure is a doormat. Pure just means I can extract her time. I can extract her energy. I can have a bang maid. I can have a wife appliance. That's what they mean with purity. That's why I've never been offended. I've never been offended when a married man or someone approaches me, because it's I have a lot of sex appeal. I do. And I'm like, psh, I know your wife ain't got this. So of course you're going to come to me. Your wife is tired. She's exhausted. She's cooking. She's cleaning. She done had your children. She's exhausted. So of course, this is why as women, you'll be thinking but he's married. Why is he talking to me? Because men want everything. They want everything. That's why it's not a matter of comparison. It's a matter of, well, she had my babies and now she's too tired to have sex. We used to have all these wild, crazy things we used to do in the bedroom, and now we don't do them anymore. She used to be so attentive, but now she's too tied up with the children. They want way too much. It's outside of one person's human capability to be able to do every single thing that they want a woman to do. They want you to have experience, but they don't want you to be a 304. You know what I'm saying? They don't want you to be educated, but they don't want to provide for you. Yeah, I'll never be a good woman to a man. All I do is cause problems. Shouldn't a 50-year-old be happy to have attention from a 30-year-old? Girl, no. You shouldn't be happy. If the attention is coming from a man, you shouldn't be happy at all. They will screw anything. They will screw the dead. They will screw turkeys. They will screw lizards. Male validation is worthless. because men are not the value. Men are not the value. Say it with me. Men are not the value. Men are not the value. I want you to say it. I want you to say it 4 times and then shake like that. Cast a spell to get it out of you to believe and understand that men are not the value and that you should not be caring about them complimenting you, them giving you attention, them texting you back. You shouldn't care. Yeah, they have a lot of cognitive dissonance is the issue. Men have a lot of cognitive dissonance. Men hate the fact that they're lustful. I say it all the time. The thing that the man hates about himself the most is that he is lustful. That is the reason why they created purity culture. They created purity culture to project onto women that you have to be the one to not create and to spark up their lustful urges. That's why they put the responsibility on you as a woman. You shouldn't dress like that. You shouldn't wear a skirt that's so short. You shouldn't be showing off your boobs. You shouldn't be showing off your stomach. They want you to be in control of their lustfulness. The male is naturally lustful. I can't believe that there's women that are out here thinking all these men want from me is sex. What is it about me? What is it about me? You're a woman. That's what it is about you. You're a woman. Men do not look at women and say, there is no man that a woman is looking at and not thinking about sleeping with her. The main reason why he decided to talk to you in the first place, 100%, was because he was like, she's worthy to sleep with. That's the number one reason that he approached you. Don't believe what these men are talking about. Oh yeah, I knew she was my wife. I knew she was. No, you knew she was your wife that you wanted to have sex with. It's not either or, it's both. They're not marrying someone that they don't want to have sex with. Exactly. I grew up in the church. Most men in there love promiscuous women on the low and lie about wanting a virtuous woman. Exactly. Because they get to be themselves when they're with the woman that is like that. They can't be 100% lustful like they want to with the woman that they marry because that's going to annoy the fuck out of her. That annoys all women. Women don't want a man breathing down their neck for them to open their legs all of the time. It's annoying. It's super, super annoying, and it's very invasive. I think I scheduled my live stream for 2:30. Yup, and I did on the other channel. Okay, I'll answer questions for like 5 more minutes if anyone has any more. And then after that, I'm going to go stream on the spiritual channel. I put the link in there if you're interested. We're going to be talking about celibacy. We're going to be talking about sex magic. We're pretty much going to be talking about how to harness and use sexual energy and how to alchemize that energy to be able to manifest and get the things that you want. And not just having sex just to have it, or not just doing anything with your celibacy. You know what I'm saying? Getting something out of it. You know what I'm saying? Why would a man tell his wife she is bad in bed when she isn't? To lower her self-esteem, lower her confidence, make her question her performance. So that way she can look back at herself and hate herself. This is why it's very important. This is why it's very important for you as a woman. You need to be very, very, very self-rooted in who you are. You need to know who you are. When you know who you are, no one will be able to tell you who you are. If you done had 10 men say that you're putting it down in bed, you got a tsunami, you know, you got the tightest thing ever, and then your husband is over here saying that your performance is bad, yada yada yada. He's lying. He's purposely trying to say this to make you question your self-esteem. Even if he was saying it, if he was giving you compliments and all of a sudden he's talking about your bed performance, he's trying to lower your self-esteem. He doesn't like himself where he is right now. And so he's like, okay, well, what can I do to project that onto her and make her feel bad for herself? Misery loves company. So whenever they're being overly critical, randomly critical of you for no reason, there's something going on in his mental that he's trying to project onto you. Why do men care so much about mother's opinion and not go for who they love, or they care about their homeboys? Because men do not respect women that they're not related to. If you are not a relative of a man, he is not going to respect you. And they barely respect their relatives. They barely respect their mothers. They've pretty much been coddled their own life to really value what their mothers think of them. And so their mother is the only person that's ever given them love, despite them being lazy, despite them being not so smart, despite them not achieving anything. So they fear the idea of, well, if I go against my mother's approval, then I am going to lose love from her. And that's the only person in my life who has ever loved me. So if I lose her, there's no guarantee that my girlfriend or that my wife is going to love me forever. So they're essentially losing their unconditional love lifeline. They care about their homeboys because they respect their homeboys more than you as a woman. I said it earlier in the live. A man will die for a woman and live for men. They'll die for you, but they will not live for you. The patriarchy has built men up to respect approval from other men. Patriarchy does not teach men to look at the approval that they get from women. All right, y'all. I'm going on over to the spiritual channel. If you want more content from me, you can meet me over there. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Look in the link tree for the Patreon, the one-on-one consults, and I have the spiritual channel link in there too. I will see you lovely sovereign sisters next time. Bye.